As a composer, you might be wondering, why should I hire an orchestrator when my music is already orchestrated on the computer? While a lot of modern orchestration may seem like a technical process, it's just much more than just transferring MIDI notes into notation and adding some dynamics. It is a highly skilled craft with many important considerations. But to really answer this question, we need to dive into what happens when your demo enters the orchestration process. No matter how clean or detailed the original MIDI is, translating that music into notation isn't always a perfect one-to-one process. There are always some nuances that need to be resolved. To me, modern orchestration often feels like solving a puzzle. So you have all the pieces, you know the final picture, and it's your job to fit those pieces together in a way that creates something beautiful and functional. My goal is always to create something that's efficient, clear, and consistent. Years of studying scores, understanding how each instrument of the orchestra works, and knowing how to communicate with players to get the best performance, that's the value of an orchestrator. Furthermore, knowing how to run a scoring session efficiently to not only get the best performance but also maximize recording time is why hiring an orchestrator is crucial for your production. Orchestration is often seen as a skill a composer develops to bring their compositions to life. In fact, many composers are orchestrators by nature. But historically, the term orchestration wasn't even commonly used. According to the Oxford Dictionary, the first recorded use of the word dates back to the 1830s. So now let's take a step back in time, to the days of Mozart, Beethoven, and Tchaikovsky. These legendary composers didn't need to hire anyone to orchestrate their works because they did it themselves, right? Now, fast forward to the 1920s, and then we see a shift. George Gershwin, one of the most iconic composers of his time and one of my favorites, his masterpiece, Rhapsody in Blue, was originally written for 2 pianos. But it was Fer de Groffet who orchestrated it for the Paul Whiteman Orchestra. Later, he also created the full orchestral version, which has since become the most widely performed and beloved around the world. As Hollywood began producing more and more films, the demand for original scores with tight deadlines led to a team effort. So composers simply didn't have the time to both compose and orchestrate a full score ready for performance and, of course, recording. Instead, they would write a sketch, sometimes with very detailed instructions on the instrumentation. And then the orchestrator's job was to bring that sketch to life, adapting it into a full orchestral score with all the necessary details for the musicians to interpret exactly as the composer envisioned. This collaborative process between composer and orchestrator became an essential part of Hollywood film scoring and continued for many years. By the mid-1980s, the invention of the MIDI format revolutionized how composers created music. And for the first time, composers could write directly on a computer, using digital sounds to emulate a wide range of instruments. This method made it possible to craft complex demos without needing to know traditional music notation. As technology progressed, especially with the rise of sampling, this approach became the go-to method for composers, particularly in the world of media music. Today, it remains the most common way composers write music.